defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily.
Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. These two teams all tied after one. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him in.
On the return, Carter. Well, he wasn't too far from... Breaking that officially. Give him 15. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, 71 yards. And the Texans have taken the lead. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with it. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for this.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. J.J. Watt picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 6 yards there.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. From the gun, Mayfield. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And he'll get credit for a punt inside the 20, not by much, but inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap. Allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
That big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Toss play, Ferguson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
Get set. 19. Check 53. You might be getting tired of seeing me. Time to go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. 4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their 2nd-year punter, Trevor Daniel. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter, 14-7. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now Callaway on the return. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Here's Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Mayfield to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a 1st down. Now Mayfield, and he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Going to the air again with Mayfield. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll give it to Chubb. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. To throw, Mayfield. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. The extra point up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Throwing again is Watson. And he's taken down. This will be a Browns sack. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson, eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step